Good afternoon, teacher, tutor, classmate. I'm teacher Patricia Morales U and I teach in the primary school. And it's a pleasure to speak today about the experience of my teaching practice in this module called interculturality. The topic I chose was the role of multiculturalism in teaching English through reading. I choose this topic because in my community the families are plurilingual language. They accustomed to learn because they learn indigenous language and Spanish language, and now they learn English language. I like to work with this family because the indigenous language lost, in today's. I have to mention that the community where I am, the technological area is very little, but the teaching and the learning was very fruitful. Some miss were used to carry it out. It was also a success because in the family we find multicultural families with they speak Zapoteca, Mixteca, and Tlahuica language. And when in this project I have a little problem because my students they were ashamed to their indigenous language, but when they to learn the new language or the English language, they realize what they learned. They practice or they now practice an English language and an indigenous language and Spanish language. But is I'd like to this activity because integrate the interculturalism families. I have mentioned it in each class we carry out activity participation. I explain it. When come to class, my student, they come stressed, and then I practice activity participation and integrate it in my group and then into their new novels. The activity participation consists of participating with the vocabulary learned through the flashcards. I show some flashcards that you use in my class. This is an example. This is mine. But my student created your own flashcards. This some that my students, or one of my students, realize this flashcard, or this other example, they put imagine and then write song to this word. It is other example that my student practice the flashcards. And in activity participation, asked for turns, pronounce and write them, or asked to separate it by the mentioned particular letter. For example, tell me 5 words that start with letter B. They choose the flashcards, collected the flashcard, and then show the flashcard, put the hand, and participated. They collected point for prizes, for example, a snack time, or as a part of the summative evaluation. But with the contingency is what carried out with parents at home through sentences or phrases and photograph of the activity. But they a lot of time fun in family. And also mention that in my planning I divide in section because at the end of the session they give me a product. One session is based on project-based learning, and the final product was they created a history, comic, fable, history about the multiculturalisms. But if we were in class, they literally breakfast would be held, where they brought a smart lunch and a blanket, and they wrote to or read in English, in Spanish, and indigenous language. They explain in front of the class your history that they created. Here I also participate until I came to generate a book of our stories. This was done at home, and it was so nice because we brought families together. They participated with their children, starting from the investigation, the draft of their history, and they integrate all the family. They listen that my student read for the youngest to the many integrants of the family. I like to very much this practice, so I like to realize this project because my student to learn that learn other language, because the indigenous language are in this actuality lost, because my students don't like speak this indigenous language. They in your social cultural, in the social community, all the time speaking Spanish, but when then they go to the investigation what is the importance the indigenous language, they to speak in the indigenous language, in Spanish English, and English language. And as a result, the appreciation of a different language together with English and Spanish is no longer a communication barrier, and the experience between the teacher, student, and family triad was the successful that was expected. I like to realize this, and particularly me and my student realize this project because they integrate all the family when they read in front of your families. Thanks so much. I show many works that my students realize in this project. Thanks so much.
Hola, soy Donovan. Les voy a contar un cuento en inglés, en español y en tlahuica. El idioma tlahuica también es llamado Atzinca. Es una lengua indígena hablada por apenas unas 515 personas que habitan principalmente en la localidad de San Juan Atzingo, en el sur del Estado de México. Por el tamaño extremadamente reducido de su comunidad lingüística, el tlahuica es clasificado como una lengua en inminente peligro de extinción. En su idioma nativo, el tlahuica recibe el nombre de Heik Hak Ho, que significa lo que yo soy o lo que yo hablo. Los tlahuicas también son llamados ocuiltecos, que significan en náhuatl gente del lugar de los gusanos. English version: The Witch. People say there was a witch in town, and that her husband didn't know it. When the man was out of town, you could see fire. And the neighbor told him his wife did something weird. But when he came back, there was no more fire. And then he was spying on her, and in fact, there was fire. So when he came back, he asked her for some food. But she said her feet hurt. And was in that moment that he realized he didn't have bare feet anymore, and that's how we discover a pill exists. Evencinum telumboyaya bopitorum wetunanti. Hueltuma yuyemboya. Joquimba pilviaje. Sí, porque teniculia. Perú tuxipo nievicinho. Ma ku okua tupondi. Welch hu temiltuje, omdo y te sipi. Mi vecino tuxipo, cach kimba pil viaje. Tiela sipi mucho mopoli pajo. Tiela pus bo jueve bali cuenta. La gia yulol poli. Mupoli sipijo. Kindoki yuaji nasinsi. Juyetu kuten novali. Juacuñetsi lielumbali en cuenta. Bo kunutle ombali. Cuenta pues viendo que li echja. Niemuñe. Boquituño juñe. Ñe autoridad. Embore juebec jo. En Bali en cuenta porque Hieru Penda.